Hello everyone. I had to share with you my beautiful Cattleya in full bloom today. I have 2 spikes of flowers on this plant this year. I absolutely love this plant. It blooms for me every year, and the color of these blooms, it's just mesmerizing. So that's what these look like this year. I think this bloom cycle was even better than last year, so I'm very happy about that. I thought I would take this time to go over some spring growing tips for your orchids. This is a really good time of the year to make sure that your orchids are getting enough sunlight. What I really like to do is grow them in front of eastern-facing windows that receive plenty of morning light, and I like to put my blooming orchids here in front of these western-facing windows. It's about 3 o'clock and you can see they're getting a lot of really good dispersed light. This really sets them up for a strong bloom cycle for the next year. The other thing that you all have been asking about is repotting your orchids. When I first started growing orchids, I thought that you had to do it like a regular houseplant, like you had to repot it every single year, and you don't. As long as your bark is in good shape, the plant really doesn't need new bark. You're not wanting to repot your orchids in larger pots if you're growing Phalaenopsis orchids. That's these orchids right here. They prefer smaller homes. So when I do repot, which is not very often, I might repot mine every 3 or 4 years because I keep my mulch, my bark, very clean. I water these twice a week, and I water them liberally, and I drain all the excess water off of them. So that keeps my bark really, really clean. Now, this orchid is in Sphangum moss. It's always been in Sphangum moss. It's always done very well. When I started this Cattleya orchid, it had 2 little growths, 2 little leaves in here. I think these were the original ones right here. And it had 2 little blooms, and I thought it was the cutest thing. And I've had this one for about 6 years. And I've had to repot this one because it grows pseudobulbs every year, and this plant does get larger. So your Cattleyas, they do tend to grow quite a bit, so you'll have to repot those more often. But I would recommend you go ahead and repot them in the same type of medium that they're used to. I also do not repot my orchids when they are in active growth. This one here is in active growth. Do you see how the tip of this root is brand new and green? That means that this orchid is in active growth. I don't want to do anything to damage those root tips. So wait until your orchid is not actively growing to repot it. So I hope those tips give you some ideas about how to grow beautiful orchids, and I hope you have a highly favored, deeply loved, greatly blessed day, and we'll see you next time.